The stories portrayed in this show are based on real deaths and are extremely graphic. Names have been changed to protect the identities of the deceased. Do not attempt to try any of the actions depicted. You will die.
Death is everywhere. Most of us try to avoid it. Others can't get out of its way. Every day we fight a new war against germs, toxins, injury, illness, and catastrophe. There's a lot of ways to wind up dead. The fact that we survive it all is a miracle. Because every day we live, we face 1,000 ways to die.
The bark scorpion is the most venomous scorpion in the US. The venom is a neurotoxin, which means it goes through the system, turning off the autonomic nervous system, almost like you're turning off the fuses in a light switch. You're toast.
Palmer was a disgusting pervert who squeezed himself.
Semen!
And then motel owners. After a tiring day of self-abuse, he had a nice sleep and then a bite. Ta-ta, freak.
They would fracture his fingers right before disintegrating them. His forearms would then be obliterated and pulverized. And then as the blast wave got larger, his chest would be exposed to it and his head as well.
If somebody has a rope around their torso and the force is so great that you actually sever your torso, all the gastrointestinal contents are just going to fly everywhere. He probably died instantaneously from the skull shattering on the ground and his brain herniating out into the street. His spine probably shattered along with his skull and severed his spinal cord, killing him.
Burn can possibly cause a second-degree burn, and maybe a 10-second burn would probably lead to a third-degree or fourth, depending on the temperature of the substance. This puts them in a hypermetabolic state with increased heart rate, increased respiratory rate, increased temperature, and they lose a lot of proteins and fluids, which then would eventually lead to death.
So こでおめえの次のセリフはこうだ。決闘を侮辱するな、ジョジョ。俺の前で決闘を侮辱するな、ジョジョ。
A large, heavy projectile is coming through, so it's going to come through, it's going to puncture the heart, it's going to rip that up, the lungs, it's going to cut those up, it's going to come straight through the chest, it's going to cause a lot of internal bleeding, a lot of damage.
ついている分だけ道路さんに熱烈なやつをよ。
It truly is like the body is getting squashed against a hard object. Break bones, which can then rip into the vital organs, the delicate organs inside the body. You can have catastrophic bleeding all of a sudden. The heart shuts down and you die a quick but painful death.
This guy walked in, he walked into the worst possible situation he could. It's not surprising he got a hail of bullets from the other side.
He took 7 shots in all, but it only took 1 to kill him.
Kill shot has to be the right bullet with the right velocity in the most appropriate location. Through the heart is probably the most devastating sudden kill shot because you have a sudden drop in cardiac output, you have no circulation, and literally within seconds the person is gone.
Gomer's last stick-up was his last act on Earth. But his fame lives on. On the internet, the security cam video has 2 million hits and counting.
Once the bomb ignites, a lot of the shrapnel will probably be super hot. So when it goes into the different parts of their body, it will be burning. And it's designed to kill anything within about 5 meters.
ドイツの科学は世界一。
This has probably been very quick because he probably would have lost consciousness immediately. In this case, it would have been an aggressive, high-impact trauma. Probably would have caused bleeding. That would have been the cause of death, a big hemorrhage into the brain and death.
The impact into the wall would have brought his skull to a complete stop while his brain is still moving. The massive internal bleeding from his brain bouncing around in his skull is what caused him to die.
このディオがこの世の全てを手中に収める。自動車という機械は便利なものだが、誰も彼もが乗るから道路が混雑してしまう。止まった時の中は一人、このディオだけだ。犬など相手になるか。時を隔てた開口というわけか。やれやれだぜ。